Anyway, you know what's a good topic? AI. Let me rant about AI randomly. Like, the thing that everyone's doing, the trendy thing to do is to argue about AI. But AI is making everything so much worse. The internet has gotten progressively worse in some ways and better in others since its very inception. Like, it used to be sort of like, people call it a Wild West. I don't like that term because if you know what the actual Wild West was, it was just genociding Native Americans basically. But it's still like the meaning of the term is somewhat apt. Like, you made shit, connected with random people in ways that felt like really authentic and organic. No one was serving you shit with an algorithm. But gradually over time, the internet has coalesced into like a space where you have to use like 3 or 4 different platforms. Depending on where you live, there might be different ones, but you know what I mean. To be seen at all, to be heard at all, to connect with anyone at all. And these platforms dictate what you see, what you hear, what you think. So in that sense, things have gotten worse. But also, the internet has resulted paradoxically in this, what you would expect to be a sort of democratization of information. And now that it's far easier to be heard as someone without like the social clout to get in the news or something than it ever has been before. So there's that aspect of it, which is good. But there's also like the destruction of any sort of authenticity, of any sort of control, of any sort of community that the internet once used to have. And AI has now entered the mix very rapidly, become so much better. Like initially everyone was making fun of it. Like obviously it makes errors, it's bad, blah, 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 but it's advancing at a great pace. It's not actually AI. I don't like the term AI. I don't think it's really intelligent at all. It's just a language learning model. It predicts the next word. I don't actually know how the images work, but I would imagine the image generation, the video generation works similarly in that it can't function without stuff made by humans to know what to do, to know what to say, to know what to write, to know what video to generate. When you give it a prompt, it's basically drawing on everything that has ever been put on the internet to aggregate that into something that approximates your prompt. So it's not actually intelligent, doesn't think for itself. It doesn't reason. It's basically an incredibly powerful Google search, far more powerful than Google search has ever been before. And it's becoming better and better at being what it is, even if it's not actually AI, and I don't really approve of it being called AI. But this is really bad, in my opinion, because the negatives far outweigh the positives. For one, this is going to actually destroy anything even resembling like anything sort of authentic. I know that word is sort of meaningless and overused, but like you're going to have stuff like written works, writing, art, largely replaced with AI. Like my job, like my selling point in the future, it's literally going to be, I'm a real person. I'm not a response that someone got from ChatGPT and then uploaded to YouTube with an AI voice. Like in the future, things are going to be like that. Like even in the politics space, the video essay space, not to mention everything outside of YouTube. I'm just talking about YouTube because it's what I work on, is going to become like more and more dominated by AI slop. And obviously, maybe it won't be as good as actual like real authentic content, but I think it's going to be close enough. And it's going to be able to be mass-produced. This is especially the most important thing, to be mass-produced in vast numbers in a shred of the time, to the point where it's going to basically overwhelm even far better content that is actually created by humans, even by humans who are using AI as sort of a part of their process rather than just outright using it to generate stuff. They will be consumed by this because there's a finite amount of people in the world and you're competing for a finite amount of their attention. And if they're all consuming AI slop, that's less eyes on things that real people are actually making. There's been stuff like popping up on YouTube. Like I've been getting recommended this everywhere. I've been getting shown it in ads. Like AI asked people in the past what things are like, and it's garbage, but it's so much better than it was like years ago. And it can be produced in absurd quantities. And like it's bad, but it's like at least like coherent enough. Because I'm sure what happened here is the guy got this stuff from the AI and then he like edited together to take out the parts that flunked and just include the highlights. But it's still largely AI generated. Another thing is that this takes incredible amounts of power. So in a time of climate change getting worse and worse, totally unaddressed, we now have like this double whammy of problems to that goal, which makes it even worse, which is people spending power generating stuff like this for no real purpose aside from to make money for themselves and from other videos created by real people to make money for themselves. We have that, and then we have cryptocurrency, which also uses a ton of power to mine.
What's life like for you right now?
Woke up, stepped in dung, got taxed, and that was before breakfast.
Do you enjoy your work?
Like, obviously, he's sort of two hilts. That's amazing. Like, is it funny? I mean, it's not funny, but it's at least coherent.
Ah, yeah. It's honest work, and no one talks back.
Like, it's at least trying to make jokes. It at least has a punchline.
What do you think of King Henry?
Oh, well, he's very committed to marrying.
How's the health situation looking?
You get the point. It is just... Obviously, human comedians are going to make things that are infinitely better than this garbage, but it's going to get closer and closer because it steals their material. It steals their jokes. It steals from the totality of human knowledge experience, from the totality of human creativity. And anyone can now draw upon that to basically steal from thousands of different people at once and upload the product of that and then use that product to steal the attention away from the people who created the very creative material that the AI was trained on so that it could generate these sorts of skits in the first place. And the world is going to fucking suck. The world is going to be, like, imagine being like a 50-year-old in this world, by the way. Like someone who grew up right before the internet age and never really got into it when it was getting big. You are not going to be able to tell what's real and what's not. You're not going to be able to tell whether something you read is trustworthy or not. Like already, like look at like Reddit, for example. There are just tons of Reddit comments, tons of Reddit posts that are just so clearly written by AI to the point that people are frying their brains and ruining their own capacity to do stuff. Like rather than type out something themselves, people like say to like ChatGPT, write me a post critiquing bad empanada. Like I've legitimately seen Reddit comments that are critiquing me that are so clearly written by ChatGPT. It's terrifying, honestly. It's pathetic for one, but it's also terrifying. Is this the future? The future fucking sucks, and it's out of control now. And people are like, "Oh, we're gonna get general artificial intelligence, or whatever it's called, artificial general intelligence." No, we're not. This is not real AI. All this does is steal and it fries people's brains. The only real valid use for AI is as a more advanced Google search, but there are very few people who are capable of using it in that way. The other people just have their brains fried by believing whatever the AI tells them, unquestionably, because obviously they give it prompts that reinforce what they, slyly or not, result in responses that reinforce what they already believe. And then you have like all of the jobs being stolen from like 2 years ago, 3-4 years ago. You had to get an artist if you wanted to like have someone like create some graphics for your YouTube video. Now you just ask ChatGPT to generate you graphics based on the art that the artist who otherwise might have contributed to, thousands of different artworks that artist's art was stolen to train the AI on, so that now you could skirt around actually having to pay someone for their work. Okay, let me show you one of these ChatGPT posts that I was talking about recently. A post on the H3H3 production subreddit. You can tell that this is written by ChatGPT because something that ChatGPT does a lot of. And I feel like people who use ChatGPT are going to catch on to this and start asking it to not do this, but it loves subheadings. ChatGPT loves bullet points and subheadings. No one types like this. No one just randomly inserts a fucking title to every single paragraph. So it's transparently written by ChatGPT. Like this is someone who told ChatGPT, write an article about how Hassan Piker and his friends are Stalinists. And this is what it blurted out. And then he cut and pasted it and posted it on the H3H3 production subreddit. And they're also lobotomized that they upvoted it and replied. And they were like, yeah, man, speak truth to power. I don't know, man. The future is bleak. AI it's scary. The world, like people are becoming more and more isolated. And AI is making people more and more isolated. And it's out of control. There's no stopping it now. AI companies are going to steal everything that has ever been created, and we have no way of stopping it. And it is going to be used to replace tons of people It is going to be used in the worst ways possible, and it's only going to get worse and worse as it gets better and better. This is a tool that could be used for good, but it's not going to be used for good. It's out of the box, and there's no way to put it back in, and I am seriously worried about just the general health of global human societies as a result of this. Somehow the internet just keeps getting worse and worse. And I'm not just saying that, like, I'm an old man, and back in my day, things were better. I'm saying that because it factually has. The internet has become more and more monopolized as time has gone by. And it's really easy to see how that has made things worse. And the fact that it's so monopolized has made it so much easier for these AI companies to take advantage of that, because if everything's in one place, you just steal all the data that you need to train your AI from those places. Easy. It's so much easier. You know, you might call me a Luddite, but the Luddites were right, I'll have you know. I don't understand why people think the Luddites were terrible people. The Luddites were literally people whose entire livelihoods were based around like handcrafting textiles. And suddenly, capitalists created like these massive factories where they paid 11-year-olds 1 cent an hour to operate like automated looms, or not automated, but like borderline like machine looms with their hands, and like have their hands cut off every 2 seconds in the machine, and then they'd grow up with no fingers from 11 years old onwards. Luddites were against that because that was taking their jobs. It was ruining their livelihoods. These people who used to have like a nice gig where they could use their like highly skilled profession to make things that people needed, suddenly had it replaced by mass child labor for the benefit of capitalists. And they were right about that. And if you think I'm a Luddite for being like billions of people are literally going to lose their jobs to people writing prompts into ChatGPT, then okay, I'm a Luddite. I'm proud of that label. There has to be like some sweet spot here where we say, okay, maybe this tech is detrimental. Maybe it's not good for us. Maybe the things that make us human are actually important. Maybe we need society. Maybe we need community. Maybe we need critical thinking. Maybe we need creativity. Demolishing all of those things in the name of fucking technological advancement means that maybe the technology isn't worth it. Anyway, give me all your money now. At least the technology made it easy for you to donate to my stream. That's always good. That's the best use of technology, to get me more money.